Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play of Out of the Park Baseball 18 with the drafted Reds team in the 2017 season. I just got some really bad news yesterday. Basically, the best hitter on the team, Christian Yelich, who'd been out for quite a long time with a fractured cheekbone, just had a quote-unquote setback. He's out for another 8 weeks, which will take him past the end of the season. So I guess I'm just not supposed to win this year. I'll have to accept that fact. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to give up completely and not try to win, but it's going to be very difficult. There's a lot of negative stuff that started happening. It's really started since I made some shifts in the coaching, and I think it's probably related. I checked some of the coaches' records when I replaced them. I think 14 and 20 is the record for the coaches that I've replaced. So I guess I sabotaged myself because it's really been going downhill since that happened. So right now I've dropped back to second place. I'm only a half game back. I'm still in it, and I'm gonna try to win, but there's been a lot of negative stuff that's been happening, and when that happens in this game, it's generally the simulation telling you you can't beat it. You're not supposed to win this year for whatever reason. You know, I think in my case it was the coaching changes. You're not supposed to shake up the coaching staff in the middle of the season, and that's probably what I've done. I can't be 100% certain on that, but I think that's probably what's happened. Let's see, I got Strom up here. Maybe I shouldn't get Strom. I might need him to start. Gray still has his day-to-day injury for the next 2 days. I've got Norris starting today. I think Gray's supposed to start tomorrow, so I'll probably want Strom to start instead of Gray. So maybe, let's see, maybe I want to bring up Ellington instead of Strom. I think I screwed that up. I'll bring Strom up tomorrow. I've got Strom benched, so hopefully the AAA manager won't use him. You know, I'm not going to specify anything for Koda Glover either because I don't want him being used. Alright, I haven't pitched Ellington yet. He was effective last year. Hopefully I've got enough in the bullpen now to... I mean, Norris is starting. He's generally gone relatively deep into games, so I might not need a deep bullpen today. I hope I don't. I've also got some people tired in the lineups. I guess I'm going to have to probably play Ozzie Albies at short today. Someone other than Lewis Brinson as well. A lot of people just not hitting. Fisher, I'm not surprised since it's his rookie year, but he started hitting a little bit lately. But he was really terrible when I brought him up earlier. Albies is kind of hitting over his head. This 389 batting average on balls in play is unsustainable. He's been worth .7 WAR in a very limited playing time, and a lot of that, even though he is hitting over his head, is defense. Alright, nothing for it. I think I'm facing Jarrett Cole today, so it's going to be a tough game. Let's see, Profar in at second base. We'll put Ozzie Albies in at short. We got Brandon Moss playing. Brinson is tired. Oh, I got Oscar Hernandez. That wouldn't be good. Alright, Ozzie Albies at short. How is Candelario hitting lately? You know, I could play David Freese today instead of Candelario. Of course, I've got a lot of right-handed hitters in the lineup anyway. I'm going to try putting Candelario in the 2 spot. Almora, Hernandez needs to be moved up. Fisher 6. Put Ozzie Albies 9th. And we'll see how things go today. Jurickson Profar's finally over his day-to-day injury. Welcome to SunTrust Park in Atlanta, where the Atlanta Braves will be hosting the Cincinnati Reds. Starting today for the Braves, Jarrett Cole. Cole 14-7 with a 2.49 ERA. He struck out 128 batters in 151 2/3 innings pitched. They'll be facing the Reds' second baseman Jurickson Profar. Profar hitting .265 with 7 home runs and 37 RBIs. Wow, catcher Walters came way out to get that ground ball. He throws out Profar at first for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Heimer Candelario to the plate. The Reds' third baseman hitting .246 with 16 home runs and 55 RBIs. Looper to left field for a fly ball. This has an odd angle to it. Conforto's over to make the catch. 2 down in the inning. That brings Adrian Gonzalez to the plate. Gonzalez, the Reds' first baseman, hitting .275 with 20 home runs and 54 RBIs. Ground ball to second. Rendon up with it. Throws to first. Gonzalez is retired. And the Reds go down 1-2-3 here in the first. Starting today for the Reds, Daniel Norris. Norris 9-10 on the season with a 3.01 ERA. He struck out 140 batters in 152 2/3 innings pitched. He'll be facing the Braves center fielder Keon Broxton. Broxton hitting .215 with 12 home runs and 38 RBIs. Ground ball to second. Profar up with it, throws to first. Broxton's retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down. Christian Arroyo stands in. Arroyo hitting .228 with 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. Line shot back up the middle, base hit for Arroyo. He's on at first with 1 out for Francisco Lindor. Lindor, the Braves shortstop, hitting .311 with 11 home runs and 58 RBIs. Arroyo at first with average speed. Norris throws over. Arroyo back. Norris checks a runner, delivers to Lindor at the plate. Fly ball to right field. Fisher moves in to make the catch. 2 down in the inning. Arroyo has to stay at first base. That brings Cody Bellinger to the plate. The Braves first baseman hitting .241 with 14 home runs and 61 RBIs. Norris checks a runner, delivers to Bellinger. Strikes him out for the 3rd out here in the bottom of the first. The Braves strand a runner. They fail to score, and there's no score here in Atlanta after 1. That brings Brandon Moss up to the plate. Moss hitting .233 with 10 home runs and 31 RBIs. Cole strikes him out for the first out of the inning, 1 down. Oscar Hernandez stands in. The Reds catcher hitting .276 with 10 home runs and 41 RBIs. Ground ball to short. Lindor up with it, throws to first. Hernandez is retired for the second out of the inning. That brings Derek Fisher to the plate. Fisher hitting .175 with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. He strikes out here, and the Reds go down 1-2-3 in the top of the second. No score after 1.5. Anthony Rendon, the Braves second baseman, stands in. He's hitting .230 with 4 home runs and 37 RBIs. Line shot to left center field. Almora moving over. Nice catch by Almora. Someone with a little bit less range doesn't get to that ball. 1 down. That brings Michael Conforto to the plate. Conforto hitting .225 with 12 home runs and 52 RBIs. Line shot down the right field corner. Gets down for extra bases for Conforto. And he just beats the tag into the second base. He's now in scoring position with 1 out for Andre Ethier. Ethier, the right fielder, hitting .296 with 1 home run and 16 RBIs. Norris checks the runner, delivers to Ethier. Strikes him out for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings the catcher Tony Wolters to the plate. Wolters hitting .231 with 12 RBIs. Norris checks the runner, delivers to Wolters and walks him. Walked him on 4 pitches. Runners at first and second. The pitcher Garrett Cole at the plate. Cole hitting .163. He does have a home run and 3 RBIs. Norris strikes him out here to end the inning. After 2, there's no score here in Atlanta. The Red center fielder Albert Almora stands in. Almora hitting .229 with 3 home runs and 25 RBIs. Cole strikes him out for the first out of the inning. 1 down. Daniel Norris stands in. Norris hitting .208 with a home run. Ground ball to short. Lindor up with it, throws to first. Norris is retired. That brings Ozzie Albies to the plate. Albies hitting .292 with an RBI. Cole strikes him out. And the Reds go down 1-2-3 here again in the third. No score after 2.5. Brave center fielder Keon Broxton at the plate. He's 0 for 1. Ground ball through the left side of the infield, base hit for Broxton. He's on at first with good speed for Christian Arroyo. Norris throws over to first. Broxton back. They pitch out. Nothing doing. Oh, line shot. Norris jumps off the mound to catch it. Arroyo's retired. Broxton has to stay at first base. 1 down. That brings Francisco Lindor to the plate. Lindor 0 for 1. Hard hit ball back up the middle. Base hit for Lindor. Almora bobbles the ball out in center field. That lets everybody move up a base. Now there are runners at second and third for Cody Bellinger. Bellinger 0 for 1. They pitch around Bellinger. He draws a walk. Bases loaded, 1 down. That brings Anthony Rendon to the plate. Rendon 0 for 1. And Norris walks Rendon to force in a run. Base is still loaded. Michael Conforto stands in. Conforto 1 for 1. Ground ball to second. They try to turn 2. Not in time. Conforto beats it out. Runner scores from third. And the Braves now lead the Reds 2-0 in the bottom of the third. Runners at first and third. Andre Ethier at the plate. Ethier 0 for 1. Norris delivers. Strikes out Ethier to end the inning, but the Braves score 2. And they now lead the Reds 2-0 after 3. Jurickson Profar stands in. Profar 0 for 1. Fly ball left field. Conforto settles underneath it to make the catch. 1 down. That brings Heimer Candelario to the plate. Candelario 0 for 1. Ground ball to second. Rendon up with it, throws to first, but Candelario beats it out for an infield single. He'll be on at first for Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez 0 for 1. Cole strikes him out for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Brandon Moss to the plate. Moss 0 for 1. Hard hit ball down to first. Bellinger up with it, takes it to the bag himself. Moss is retired. And that ends the top of the fourth. The Reds strand a runner, and they fail to score. And the Braves lead them 2-0 after 3.5. Tony Wolters steps up. Wolters drew a walk in his first at-bat. Norris strikes him out for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Garrett Cole to the plate. Jarrett Cole. Cole 0 for 1. Ground ball down to third. Candelario up with it. Throws to first. Cole retired. 2 down. That brings Keon Broxton. Oh, man. Broxton 1 for 2. Norris strikes him out to end the inning. The Braves go down 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the fourth, but they lead the Reds 2-0. Oscar Hernandez stands in. The Reds catcher 0 for 1. Ground ball to short. Lindor up with it, throws to first. Hernandez is retired. 1 down. That brings Derek Fisher to the plate. Fisher 0 for 1. Cole strikes him out for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Albert Almora to the plate. Almora 0 for 1. Top ground ball back to the pitcher. Cole off the mound. Throws to first. And Almora is retired. Christian Arroyo stands in. The Braves second baseman 1 for 2. Norris strikes him out for the first out of the inning. 1 down. Francisco Lindor at the plate. Lindor 1 for 2. Line shot back up the middle. Base hit for Lindor. He'll be on at first base with 1 out for Cody Bellinger. Norris throws over. Lindor back. Checks the runner. Delivers to Bellinger at the plate. Ground ball to second. They try to turn 2, but Bellinger beats it out to first. He'll be down there with 2 outs for Anthony Rendon. Rendon 0 for 1. It's a wild one. Bellinger moves up to second on the wild pitch. 2 down. Rendon at the plate. Hard ground ball down the first base line. That might be extra bases for Rendon. Bellinger scores on the play. Rendon in the second. Atlanta leads the Reds 3-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. Conforto 1 for 2 on the day. Ground ball back up the middle. Albies up with it, throws to first. Conforto is retired. And that ends the bottom of the fifth, but the Braves tack on another run. They lead the Reds 3-0. Norris already has 93 pitches. He's not pitching particularly well today. Everybody on the bench is tired, though. Let's see, a couple lefties. I think I'll just get Stump up. Pinch hitting for Daniel Norris is Aaron Judge. Judge hitting .227 with 6 home runs and 21 RBIs. Hard hit ball to left field. But Conforto's able to make the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Ozzie Albies to the plate. Albies 0 for 1. He strikes out here for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Jurickson Profar to the plate. Profar 0 for 2. He draws a walk here. He'll be on at first with 2 outs for Heimer Candelario. Let's see. Profar gets the green light. They pitch out, but Profar's pretty savvy. He didn't take off. He still has the green light. Takes off for second. And they cut him down. Well, that ends the inning. The Reds fail to score, and the Braves lead them 3-0 after 5.5. New pitcher for the Reds, Daniel Stump. Stump 2-0 with a 2.31 ERA. He struck out 25 batters in 35 innings pitched. Pop up right at the plate. Hernandez sells underneath and makes the catch. Ethier's retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Tony Wolters to the plate. Wolters 0 for 1. Line shot to the right side of the infield. Base hit for Wolters. He'll be on at first base with 1 out for pitcher Jarrett Cole. Cole 0 for 2. Probably be called on to bunt here. Stump throws over. Wolters back. Checks the runner, delivers to Cole at the plate. Cole gets the bunt down. They go to second base. And they get the lead runner. Cole on at first. Keon Broxton at the plate. Broxton 1 for 3 on the day. 2 down. Ground ball back up the middle. Albies up with it. Oh, that's Profar. I'm sorry. Profar up with it. Throws to first. Broxton's retired, and that ends the inning. The Braves get a base runner, but they fail to do anything. But they lead the Reds 3-0 after 6. I'm sorry, I'm not very exciting today. Alright. Heimer Candelario steps to the plate. The Reds' first baseman, or third baseman. 1 for 2. Ground ball to second. Rendon up with it. Throws to first. Candelario's retired. 1 down. That brings Adrian Gonzalez to the plate. Gonzalez 0 for 2. Line shot to left field. Conforto makes a nice catch out there to steal a base hit from Gonzalez. 2 down. That brings Brandon Moss to the plate. Moss 0 for 2. Top ground ball out in front of the mound, and Wolters jumps out to field it, throws to first, and Moss is retired. Third baseman Christian Arroyo stands in. He's 1 for 3 on the day, now 2 for 4. He's on at first base with nobody out for Francisco Lindor. Lindor's a switch hitter. He's probably better from one side than the other. Not quite as good against right-handed pitching. Alright. We'll get Altavilla into the game. New pitcher for the Reds, Dan Altavilla. Altavilla 3-2 on the season with a 4.33 ERA. He struck out 68 batters in 52 innings pitched. Throws to first. Arroyo back. Checks the runner, delivers to Lindor at the plate. High fly ball to right field. Fisher moving back, makes a catch on the track for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Cody Bellinger to the plate. Bellinger 0 for 2. Altavilla strikes him out for the second out of the inning. 2 down. Anthony Rendon steps in. Rendon 1 for 2. Arroyo tries to steal second and they nab him. That cuts down the Braves here in the bottom of the 7th, but they lead the Reds 3-0. Leading off the top of the 8th for the Reds, Oscar Hernandez. Hernandez 0 for 2. Pop up on the right side of the infield. Rendon under it, puts it away for the first out of the inning. 1 down, Derek Fisher steps in. Fisher 0 for 2. Line shot to left field. That gets down for a base hit for Fisher. He's digging for second base. He'll be in there easily with a double. He's in scoring position for Albert Almora. Almora 0 for 2. Alright, I'm going to check out relief pitchers. I'm going to see who's got good stuff versus lefties. Nobody I've got available. I guess Holder's pretty good. We'll get Holder up in the bullpen. Fisher at second, 1 out. Albert Almora at the plate. Cole delivers. Ground ball to second. Rendon up with it, throws to first, and Almora's retired. 2 down. Man, this is looking ugly. Well, I guess I'll try to pinch hit with Brinson here. We'll see what he does. Fisher down at third base. Lewis Brinson at the plate. Brinson hitting .266 with 16 home runs and 52 RBIs. Cole delivers. Strikes out Brinson to end the inning. The Braves still lead 3-0 after 7.5. New pitcher for the Reds, Jonathan Holder. Holder has a 4-3 record with a 3.26 ERA. He struck out 63 batters in 60 2/3 innings pitched. He's facing the Braves second baseman Anthony Rendon. Rendon 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Ground ball to second. Profar up with it, throws to first. Rendon's retired. 1 down. That brings Michael Conforto to the plate. Conforto 1 for 3. High fly ball to left center field. Moss is under it, puts it away for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Andre Ethier to the plate. Ethier 0 for 3. Holder delivers. Strikes out Ethier. And that sets the Braves down here in the bottom of the 8th. But they lead the Reds 3-0. Ozzie Albies steps in. Albies 0 for 2. Ground ball to short. Lindor open it, throws to first. Albies is retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Jurickson Profar to the plate. Profar 0 for 2. High fly ball to right. Ethier puts it away for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Heimer Candelario to the plate. Candelario 1 for 3. Hot shot down to first. Bellinger up with it, takes it to the bag himself, and Candelario is retired. The Reds are shut out by Jarrett Cole and the Atlanta Braves, 3-0. That was an uninspiring game. No offense whatsoever. All right. He's got one more day on his day-to-day. I think I'll start Strom instead. I'll send down Altavia. Bring up Strom. You know, if Glover be ready to pitch or not. Still only a half game back, so Pittsburgh's playing just as terribly as we are. That doesn't really make me feel any better. I'd hate to lose, like, play less than 500 baseball and still get, still win the division. It wouldn't feel very good to me. Well, at least nobody's tired today. I don't think Fulmer's probably too tired to start. Yeah. We'll give Strom the start. Hopefully there's enough bullpen to cover things. Let's see. How did Fisher play? He was 1 for 3. Alright, welcome to Atlanta, where the Braves are hosting the Cincinnati Reds. Starting today for the Braves, Matt Whistler. Whistler with a 3-7 record and a 5.3 ERA. He struck out 73 batters in 105 and a third innings pitched. He'll be facing the Reds left fielder Derek Fisher. Fisher hitting 183 with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. Full count to Fisher. Ground ball to second. Rendon up with it, throws to first. Fisher is retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Jurickson Profar to the plate. Profar hitting 263 with 7 home runs and 37 RBIs. Fly ball to left. Conforto under it, puts it away. Profar's retired for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Lewis Brinson to the plate. The Red center fielder hitting .265 with 16 home runs and 52 RBIs. Whistler strikes him out here to end the inning. The Reds go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the first, and there's no score in Atlanta. Starting today for the Reds, Matt Strom. Strom 0-4 with a 7.32 ERA. He struck out 29 batters in 39 1/3 innings pitched. He'll be facing Keon Broxton, the Braves center fielder, hitting .215 with 12 home runs and 38 RBIs. Pop-up on the infield. Shortstop Simmons sells underneath it to make the catch, and Broxton's retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Christian Arroyo to the plate. Arroyo hitting .233 with 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. Line shot to center field. Brinson moves in to make the catch. There are 2 outs in the inning now for Francisco Lindor. Lindor, the Braves shortstop, hitting .313 with 11 home runs and 58 RBIs. Ground ball down to third. Candelario up with it, throws to first. But it's a bad throw. Lindor's on the air. They're 2 down. That brings Cody Bellinger to the plate. Bellinger hitting .239 with 14 home runs and 61 RBIs. Strom throws over to first. Lindor back. Checks the runner, delivers to Bellinger at the plate. Fly ball on the infield. Simmons is able to make the catch behind the second base bag. And that retires the Braves here in the bottom of the first. They strand a base runner and fail to score. 0-0 after 1. The Reds' first baseman, Adrian Gonzalez, steps to the plate. Gonzalez hitting .273 with 20 home runs and 54 RBIs. Ground ball to second. Rendon up with it, throws to first. Gonzalez is retired for the first out of the inning. That brings Aaron Judge to the plate. Judge hitting .226 with 6 home runs and 21 RBIs. Whistler strikes him out here for the second out of the inning. Oh, he make everybody look like Cy Young. 2 down. Heimer Candelario steps in. Candelario hitting .246 with 16 home runs and 55 RBIs. Whistler strikes him out to end the inning. The Reds go down 1-2-3 in the top of the second. No score after 1.5. Brave second baseman Anthony Rendon steps to the plate. He's hitting .231 with 4 home runs and 39 RBIs. High deep drive to right. Rendon got all of that one. Opposite field solo shot for Rendon. And the Braves go up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Michael Conforto stands in. Conforto hitting .225 with 12 home runs and 53 RBIs. Big shift on for Conforto. He hits a fly ball to center. Brinson moves in to make the catch. 1 down. That brings the right fielder Mac Williamson to the plate. Williamson hitting .245 with 12 home runs and 40 RBIs. Ground ball down to first. Gonzalez up with it. Throws to Strom, who covers. Williams is retired for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings the Braves catcher Jet Bandy to the plate. Bandy hitting .227 with 10 home runs and 39 RBIs. Bandy draws a walk. He's on at first with 2 down for the pitcher Matt Whistler. Whistler hitting .037. Fly ball to center. Brinson moving back. Oh no! That drops in for a hit for Whistler in front of Brinson. The runner Bandy's going to score, and the Braves now lead 2-0 in the bottom of the second. That brings the center fielder Keon Broxton to play. Broxton 0 for 1. Ground ball down to third. Oh my God. Suddenly the team's turned into the Three Stooges. Brinson can't catch an easy fly ball he's not had trouble with all season. Candelario doesn't know how to throw to first. It's looking ugly. Runners at first and third. Christian Arroyo at the plate. Arroyo 0 for 1. Strom checks the runners. High deep drive to right. Arroyo just hit a 3-run home run. And the Braves lead 5-0. Well, at least all the runs for Strom won't be earned. Ground ball to short. Simmons up with it, throws to first, and mercifully, the bottom of the second ends for the Reds. The Braves score 5 runs, though. They have a 5-0 lead after 2. That brings Carson Kelly to the plate. Kelly hitting .220 with 4 home runs and 24 RBIs. He draws a walk here. He's on at first base with nobody out for Andrelton Simmons. Simmons hitting .222 with 4 home runs and 29 RBIs. Looper to left field, but Conforto makes a nice catch out there for the first out of the inning. That brings Matt Strom to the plate. Strom will be called on to bunt here. I thought he got a good one down, but Arroyo cuts down the runner, lead runner going to second. Strom on at first, 2 down for Derek Fisher. Fisher 0 for 1. Line shot back up the middle, but the Hoover vacuum's on. None of our balls are going to fall. And the Reds are retired here in the top of the 3rd. The Braves lead them 5-0 after 2.5. Cody Bellinger at the plate. Bellinger 0 for 1. Ground ball to second. Profar up with it, throws to first. Bellinger's retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Anthony Rendon to the plate. Rendon had a solo home run and looks like he's gone deep again. And the Braves now lead 6-0. Looks like I'm going deep into my bullpen. Only 1 out in the inning. Michael Conforto at the plate. Conforto 0 for 1. Ground ball to short on the right-hand side of the second base bag. Simmons up with it, throws to first. Conforto's retired. 2 down. That brings Mac Williamson to the plate. Williamson 0 for 1. Williamson strikes out here to end the inning. But the Braves tack on another run. They lead the Reds 6-0 after 3. Jurickson Profar stands in. Profar 0 for 1. Hard hit ball to center. That gets back, but Broxton's there to make the catch on just short of the track. 1 out in the inning for Lewis Brinson. The Red center fielder 0 for 1. Strikes out here for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Adrian Gonzalez to the plate. Gonzalez 0 for 1. Line shot through the right side of the infield. Base hit for Gonzalez. He's on at first with 2 outs for Aaron Judge. Judge with a weak fly ball to left. Conforto under it, puts it away, and the Reds are retired here in the top of the 4th. The Braves lead them 6-0 after 3.5. Strom into his 4th inning of work. Jeff Bandy at the plate. Bandy drew a walk earlier today. Looper to left field, base hit for Bandy. He's on at first base for the pitcher, Matt Whistler. Whistler 1 for 1 with an RBI double. Whistler gets his bunt down. They throw to second. Do they cut down Bandy? Sacrifice bunts don't work quite as often as I think they should in this game. Just kind of my opinion. 1 down in the inning. Whistler at first. Keon Broxton at the plate. Broxton 0 for 2. He strikes out here for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Christian Arroyo to the plate. Arroyo 1 for 2 with a 3-run home run. Line shot to left center field. Gets down for a base hit for Arroyo. Whistler moves up to third base. They have runners at first and third for Francisco Lindor. Double switch for the Reds. Brandon Moss now playing left field. New pitcher Brian Ellington making his season debut. Runners at first and third, 2 down. Lindor at the plate. Lindor 0 for 2. Hard hit ball to center. And he's just taking Ellington deep. And the Braves are up 9-0. Cody Bellinger stands in. Bellinger 0 for 2. Fly ball to center. Brenton under it, puts it away. And that ends the inning. The Braves tack on 3 more runs. They now lead the Reds 9-0 after 4. Heimer Candelario who stands in. Candelario 0 for 1. Oh, now they're throwing at me. He's on at first base with nobody out for Carson Kelly. Kelly hitting .220 with 4 home runs and 24 RBIs. Ground ball down third base. And it's a 5-4-3 double play. Oh, great luck for the Reds. Oh, Angelson Simmons steps in. He's 0 for 1. Now 1 for 2. He's on at first with 2 outs for Brandon Moss. Moss hitting .229 with 10 home runs and 31 RBIs. And Cy Whistler Young strikes him out to end the inning. Anthony Rendon steps in. Rendon 2 for 2 with 2 solo home runs. Ellington delivers. Ground ball to short. Wow, Simmons up with it, throws to first. Rendon's retired for the first out. 1 down, that brings Michael Conforto to the plate. Conforto, amazingly, does not have a hit today. He still doesn't, 0 for 3. 2 down, that brings Mac Williamson to the plate. Williamson also has failed to get a hit today. He must really suck. Ellington strikes him out here to end the inning. The Braves finally fail to score in an inning. Well, they didn't score in the first, but it's been pretty... They've been piling on pretty hard since then. But they still lead the Reds 9-0 after 5. Oh, that brings Derek Fisher to play. Fisher 0 for 2 today. Weak pop-up on the infield. The shortstop Lindor makes the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 down, that brings Jurickson Profar to the plate. Profar 0 for 2. Hard hit ball back up the middle. It's a base hit! Yes, we have a base runner. Profar's on at first. That brings Lewis Brinson to the plate. Brinson 0 for 2. Oh, but he strikes out here for the second out of the inning. Cy Whistler Young strikes him out for the second out of the inning. 2 down, that brings Adrian Gonzalez to the plate. The Reds' first baseman 1 for 2. Ground ball to short. Lindor up with it, takes it to second himself, tags the bag. The lead runner's retired. And the Reds go down in the top of the 6th. The Braves lead them 9-0 after 5.5. We might as well let Ellington pitch as much as he can. Braves catcher Jet Bandy stands in. Bandy 1 for 1.
Strike 3.
Ellington strikes him out for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Matt Cy Young Whistler to the plate. Also Matt Babe Ruth Whistler, 1 for 2 with an RBI double. Oh, he's now 2 for 3 on the day. Seeing eye single through the left side of the infield. He's on at first base for Keon Broxton. Broxton, I mean, I'm surprised at all these offers in this lineup. Oh, they're not even holding. Yeah, I guess there's really no reason to. Whistler on at first, Broxton at the plate. Broxton 0 for 3. Line shot to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit for Broxton because, you know, the Braves needed to tack on more. Runners at first and second, only one down in the inning for Christian Arroyo. Arroyo 2 for 3 with a 3-run home run. Ellington strikes him out here for the second out of the inning, 2 down. That brings Francisco Lindor to the plate. Lindor 1 for 3 with a home run. Pop up in foul territory behind the plate. And Kelly's able to get underneath it and make the catch. The Braves threaten again here in the bottom of the 6th, but they fail to score. They still lead the Reds 9-0 after 6, though. Alright, Wall's ready. I don't know who I'm going to have pinch hit to face Matt Cy Young Whistler. Ozzie Albies the pinch hitter. Albies hitting .275 with an RBI on the season. Ground ball to short. Lindor up with it, throws to first. Albies is retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down. Look at it. I might regret that. Probably not, though. 2 down after Candelario strikes out. That brings Carson Kelly to the plate. The Reds catcher 0 for 1. He drew a walk earlier. But he strikes out here. Matt Cy Young Whistler strikes him out. And the Reds are retired here in the top of the 7th. New pitcher for the Reds, Bobby Wall. Wall has a 5-3 record with a 3.45 ERA. He struck out 64 batters in 57 1/3 innings pitched. They'll be facing Cody Bellinger, who's another 0-fer on the day. What? There must be like 3 hitters that are doing all the damage, because there are a ton of 0-fers. Here's Rendon. He's had 2 solo home runs. Conforto's another 0-fer. Yeah, they're not even holding. I guess I'm overly concerned with a runner at this point. The game's telling me I'm an idiot. And I am, I guess. High fly ball to right. Fisher puts it away. And that ends the 7th. But the Braves lead the Reds 9-0. Andrelton Simmons steps to the plate. The Red shortstop 1 for 2. One of the few that have been able to solve Matt Cy Young Whistler. He hits a ball into the left field corner that gets down for a double off the wall. He's in scoring position for Brandon Moss. Moss 0 for 1. Has yet to solve Matt Cy Young Whistler either. Oh, hard hit ball down the first base line. Base hit for Moss. The Reds have runners at first and third for Derek Fisher. Fisher 0 for 3. Hits the ball back up the middle for a RBI single. Runner Simmons scores from third. Moss moves up to second. Runners at first and second. Still nobody out in the inning for Jurickson Profar. Profar 1 for 3. New pitcher for the Braves, Junichi Tazawa. Tazawa 1-0 with a 3.95 ERA. He struck out 51 batters in 54 2/3 innings pitched. We're going to try to score. Look at that. I didn't even see that happen, but I guess Profar hit a ball over here. I don't know what happened there. But we just scored 2 runs, I'm sorry. 2 runs on the play. 2-run double for Jurickson Profar. Still nobody out in the inning. That brings Lewis Brinson to the plate. Brinson 0 for 3. High deep drive to left center field. That's a 2-run home run for Brinson. The Reds might creep back into this one here in the top of the 8th. It's now 9-5. Still nobody out in the inning. Adrian Gonzalez at the plate. Gonzalez 1 for 3. New pitcher for the Braves, Matt Barnes. Barnes 3-1 with a 2.56 ERA. Ground ball to second. Rendon up with it. Throws to first. Gonzalez is retired. Well, it's not like Diaz has pitched much. Well, he'd have to pitch 2 innings, wouldn't he? Pinch hitter for the Reds, David Freese. Freese hitting .240 with 9 home runs and 31 RBIs. Ground ball at the third base. Arroyo up with it, throws to first. Freese is retired. For the second out of the inning, 2 down. That brings Heimer Candelario to the plate. Candelario 0 for 2. Ground ball to third. Arroyo up with it, throws to first. Candelario's retired. And the Reds go down in the top of the 8th. They do score 5, though. It's now 9-5, the Braves in the lead. New pitcher for the Reds, Edwin Diaz. He's been fairly useless lately. So he comes in a lost cause. He's 2-2 on the season with a 1.9 ERA. He struck out 66 batters in 42 2/3 innings pitched. He'll be facing the Braves catcher Jet Bandy. Bandy 1 for 2. Ground ball back up the middle. Simmons up with it, throws to first. Bandy's retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Rio Ruiz to the plate. Ruiz, the pinch hitter, hitting .242. He has 7 RBIs on the season.
Strike 3.
Diaz strikes out Ruiz for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Keon Broxton to the plate. Broxton 1 for 4. Ground ball down to third base. Candelario up with it, throws to first. Broxton retired. And the Braves go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 8th. They still lead the Reds 9-5. Carson Kelly steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He'll be facing A.J. Schugel. Schugel 5-1 with a 3.43 ERA. Ground ball down third. Arroyo up with it, throws to first. Kelly's retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Andrelton Simmons to the plate. Simmons 2 for 3. Hard hit ball down to third, but Arroyo puts it away for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Brandon Moss to the plate. Moss 1 for 2. Ground ball to short. He's up with it. Lindor throws to first. Moss is retired. And the Braves beat the Reds 9-5. Well, I mean, on the bright side, only 5 of the runs for Strom were earned. Wow, this is getting ugly. Now I'm a game and a half back. I mean, the Pirates can't play this terribly for this long. Alright, Stump's ready to throw, Rivero's ready to throw, Holder's ready to throw. I can even pitch Edwin Diaz if I need to. Glover and Altavia are both ready to go. Alright, I'll send down Ellington. And Strom. Left-handed pitching Hader. I'm going to play Ozzie Albies today. Get him in at third base. Or, you know, wait, maybe I'll put Profar in at third. And put Ozzie Albies in at second. Probably the best defensive formation. Welcome to Atlanta, where the Braves are hosting the Cincinnati Reds. Starting day for the Braves, Josh Hader. Hader has an 0-4 record on the season with an 8.2 ERA. He struck out 18 batters in 18 2/3 innings pitched. He'll be facing the Reds' second baseman, Jurickson Profar. Profar hitting .265 with 7 home runs and 39 RBIs. Weak pop-up in foul territory on the right-hand side of the infield. Bandy under it, makes the catch. Profar's retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down, Albert Almora at the plate. Almora hitting .227 with 3 home runs and 25 RBIs. Oh, Josh Cy Young Hader strikes him out for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Lewis Brinson to the plate. Brinson hitting .265 with 17 home runs and 54 RBIs. And Josh Cy Young Hader strikes him out for the third out. The Reds go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the first. No score in Atlanta. Pitching today for the Reds, John Gray. Gray 2-5 with a 5.64 ERA. He struck out 48 batters in 52 2/3 innings pitched. He'll be facing Anthony Rendon. Rendon hitting .234 with 6 home runs and 41 RBIs. Ground ball down to third base. Profar up with it, throws to first. Rendon's retired for the first out of the inning. 1 down, that brings the Braves' third baseman Christian Arroyo to the plate. Arroyo hitting .238 with 3 home runs and 21 RBIs. He strikes out here for the second out of the inning. 2 down, that brings the shortstop Francisco Lindor to the plate. The switch hitter hitting .312 with 12 home runs and 61 RBIs. Ground ball to short. Simmons up with it, throws to first. Lindor's retired. And the Braves go down here 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. Reds catcher Oscar Hernandez stands in. He's hitting .273 with 10 home runs and 41 RBIs. Josh Cy Young Hader strikes him out for the first out of the inning. 1 down, that brings David Freese to the plate. The Reds first baseman hitting .239 with 9 home runs and 31 RBIs. High deep drive to left center field. Oh, Freese just saw Josh Cy Young Hader. And the Reds go up 1-0 here in the top of the second. Aaron Judge at the plate. Judge playing left field today. He's hitting .224 with 6 home runs and 21 RBIs. Uh-oh, Judge gets plunked by Hader. That's what I need. Well, I guess we'll have Derek Fisher take over there. Pinch run left field. Alright, so Judge is ejected. New pitcher for the Braves, Williams Perez. I'm sure he'll be lights out because we were probably going to start hitting the hater dude. So now, you know, he'll shut us all down and the Braves will win like 6-1. Anyway, Williams Perez, the new pitcher. He's 5-0 with a 3.54 ERA. He struck out 26 batters in 40 2/3 innings pitched. Andrelton Simmons at the plate. Simmons hitting .225 with 4 home runs and 29 RBIs. He strikes out here for the second out of the inning. 2 down. The pitcher John Gray stands in. Gray 0 for the season. Ground ball to short. Lindor up with it. Throws to first. And Gray's retired. The Reds go down here in the top of the second, but they do score a run. They lead the Braves 1-0 after 1.5. Cody Bellinger at the plate. The Braves first baseman hitting .236 with 14 home runs and 61 RBIs. Ground ball down to first. Frees up with it. Takes to the bag himself. Bellinger's retired for the first out of the inning. That brings Keon Broxton to the plate. The Braves right fielder hitting .215 with 12 home runs and 38 RBIs. John strikes him out for the, or Gray strikes him out for the second out of the inning. 2 down. Lorenzo Cain at the plate. Cain hitting .282 with a home run and 19 RBIs. He draws a walk here. He's on at first base with 2 outs for Alan Cordoba. Cordoba, the left fielder, hitting .261 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. Cordoba tries to bunt his way on. It's not successful though. And that's the third out of the bottom of the second. The Braves strand a runner and they fail to score. The Reds still lead them 1-0 after 2. Ozzie Albies at the plate. Albies hitting .269. He has an RBI in the season. Strikes out here for the first out of the inning. 1 down. Jurickson Profar stands in, playing third base today. He's 0 for 1. Hot shot to right field, gets down for a base hit for Profar. He'll be on at first base with 1 out. And the pitcher was just injured. He has to be replaced. New pitcher for the Braves, A.J. Schugel. Schugel 5-1 with a 3.38 ERA. He struck out 54 batters in 58 2/3 innings pitched. Let's see. They'll be facing Albert Almora, the center fielder, 0 for 1. Ground ball down to third base. Arroyo up with it, throws to second, cuts down the lead runner. Relay to first, not in time. Almora safe. 2 down, that brings Lewis Brinson to the plate. Brinson 0 for 1. Almora still down at first base. Ground ball down to third. Arroyo up with it, throws to second, and the Reds are retired here in the top of the third. They lead the Braves 1-0 after 2.5. Jet Bandy at the plate. He drew a walk earlier today. Base hit to the left side of the infield. Bandy on at first base with nobody out for the pitcher Schugel. Schugel gets his bunt down. They throw to second, cut down Bandy. Schugel safe at first. He's down there for Anthony Rendon with 1 out in the inning. Rendon 0 for 1. Gray strikes out Rendon for the second out of the inning. 2 down. Oh. What the heck is happening? They're ejections. They're losing pitchers. I'm losing pitchers. This is ridiculous. I don't know if, you know, somebody. I'm gonna have to get in and maybe turn down the injuries or something, because this is stupid. I can't believe how frequently this is happening. I know it happens in real life quite a bit, but this is ridiculous. Now I got to put a cold pitcher in. New pitcher for the Reds, Coda Glover. Glover 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA. He struck out 33 batters in 32 innings pitched. 2 down, Christian Arroyo at the plate. Arroyo 0 for 1. Weak pop-up on the infield. Freeze under it, makes the catch. And the Braves go down here in the bottom of the third. They strand a runner, and the Reds lead them 1-0 after 3. I'm a little flummoxed right now. This is just... There's a lot of goofy stuff happening to me. And it's hard to process. So if I sound a little out of it, I mean, it's because of the goofy stuff that's happening. And it's not even just happening to me. They lose a pitcher too. There's ejections. It's silly. I mean, that stuff happens, but it doesn't all happen at once. Like at the very end of the season, just to destroy your chance to win the division. I mean, you know, injuries happen, but it's like they happen one day. You know, there are teams that have been destroyed by injuries, but they don't all happen in the same game. And they don't happen like in the course of a week. I'm sure maybe at some point in history that's happened, but I don't know. This is frustrating. It seems like I'm being punished for something silly like changing the coaching, and there's not much I can do about it. Anyway, the catcher Oscar Hernandez stands in. Hernandez 0 for 1. Line shot to the left side of the infield. Base hit for Hernandez. He's on at first base with nobody out for David Freese. Let's see. I might as well get Adrian Gonzalez into the game. Adrian Gonzalez pinch hitting for David Freese. Gonzalez hitting .273 with 20 home runs and 54 RBIs. Strikes out here for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Derek Fisher to the plate. Fisher hitting .188 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. Top ground ball back to the mound. Schugel throws to second to cut down the lead runner. Fisher safe at first. 2 down the inning for Andrelton Simmons. Simmons 0 for 1. Let's see, I got a couple lefties coming up, and I'd want Stump to, well, Lindor's a switch hitter, but it's not going to matter which side he hits from. Although he is weaker from the right side, so I'd probably want to switch him to hitting from the right side. Anyway, runner at first base, 2 down. Andrelton Simmons at the plate. Simmons 0 for 1. Looper to left field. Cordoba is able to make the running catch, though. That ends the Reds' threat in the top of the 4th. They fail to score, but they lead the Braves 1-0 after 3.5. Koda Glover into his second inning work. He'll be facing Francisco Lindor. Lindor 0 for 1. Line shot to short. Simmons able to snare it on the fly for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Cody Bellinger to the plate. Bellinger 0 for 1. Strikes out here for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Keon Broxton to the plate. Broxton, the right fielder, 0 for 1. And Glover strikes him out to end the inning. After 4, the Reds lead the Braves 1-0. Lots of righties in a row. I guess I'll get somebody else up. Maybe Holder. Oops. Pinch hitting for the Reds, Heimer Candelario. Candelario hitting .245 with 16 home runs and 55 RBIs. Looper to center. But Kane's able to make a nice catch out there, steal a base hit from Candelario. 1 down. That brings Ozzie Albies to the plate. Albies 0 for 1. Albies draws a walk here. He gets the green light at first base with Jurickson Profar at the plate. But he's cut down, trying to steal second. 2 down now. Jurickson Profar at the plate, 1 for 2 on the day. Ground ball down to first. Bellinger takes to the bag himself. And the side's retired here in the top of the 5th. The Reds lead the Braves 1-0 after 4.5. New pitcher for the Reds, Jonathan Holder. Holder with a 4-3 record and a 3.21 ERA. He struck out 64 batters in 61 and 2/3 innings pitched. He'll be facing Lorenzo Cain. Cain hitting 282 with 1 home run and 19 RBIs. Hard hit ground ball down the third base line. Base hit for Cain. He's into second with a double. Cain with good speed at second base for the left fielder Alan Cordoba. Cordoba 0 for 1. That guy can void Ks.
Strike 3.
And then he strikes out. That's interesting. Well, I mean, it happens. 1 down in the inning for Jet Bandy. Bandy has a little bit more difficult time avoiding Ks. Holder delivers. Bandy works a walk. He's on at first base. Runners at first and second. 1 out for Michael Conforto. Conforto, pinch hitting. He's hitting 223 on the season with 12 home runs and 53 RBIs. Holder delivers. He plunks Conforto. He's on at first base. Cain and Bandy move up. Bases are now loaded for Anthony Rendon. Only 1 out in the inning. Line shot to left center field. That's going to be deep enough to score the runner from third base. He tags up. He's in safely. And the Braves have tied it up 1-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. That brings Christian Arroyo to the plate. Arroyo 0 for 2. Wild pitch. Runners move up. Bandy at third, Conforto at second. Arroyo at the plate, 2 down in the inning. Holder delivers. Strikes out Arroyo to end the inning. But the Braves score a run, they tie it up. It's now 1-1 after 5. Man, I am... Albert Almora at the plate. Almora 0 for 2. Ground ball down to first. Bellinger up with it, takes to the bag himself. 1 down the inning. That brings Lewis Brinson to the plate. Brinson 0 for 2. Ground ball down to first. Bellinger up with it. Brinson's retired. 2 down. That brings Oscar Hernandez to the plate. Hernandez 1 for 2. He draws a walk. 2 down. Hernandez at first. Adrian Gonzalez steps in. Gonzalez 0 for 1. Ground ball to third. Arroyo up with it, throws to first. Gonzalez is retired. And that ends the inning. Francisco Lindor at the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Line shot back up the middle. Base hit. What am I doing? Oh. I almost screwed that up. I'm sorry, I'm not into this right now. The game's dumping on me, and it's oppressive. It's oppressive how much the game is dumping on me right now. New pitcher for the Reds, Dan Altavilla. Altavilla, 3-2 with a 4.25 ERA. He struck out 69 times in 53 innings pitched. Throws over to first, Lindor back. They'll be facing Cody Bellinger. Bellinger 0 for 2. Strikes out Bellinger for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Keon Broxton to the plate. Broxton 0 for 2. Line shot to left center field. Gets down for a base hit for Broxton. Lindor trying to score from first. He's in safely. And the Braves take a lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Brings Lorenzo Cain to the plate. Cain 1 for 1. He strikes out here for the second out of the inning. 2 down. Alan Cordoba at the plate. Cordoba 0 for 2. Top ground ball back to the pitcher. Altavilla up with it. Throws to first. Cordoba's retired. Atlanta takes the lead. They're up 2-1 here after 6. Derek Fisher steps to the plate. Fisher 0 for 1.
Strike 3.
Strikes out here for the first out of the inning. 1 down. Brings Andrelton Simmons to the plate. Simmons 0 for 2. Top ground ball out in front of the plate. Bandy out with it, or up with it, throws to first, and Simmons is retired. That brings the catcher Carson Kelly to the plate. Kelly hitting .217 with 4 home runs and 24 RBIs. Ground ball to second. Rendon up with it, throws to first. And Kelly's retired. It's a while before we get up to... I'll get Wall up just in case. Jet Bandy at the plate. The Braves catcher 1 for 1. He's also drawn a walk. Ground ball to third. Profar up with it. Throws to first. Oh my God. Oh, what, you know, what can I do here? Man. New pitcher for the Reds, Bobby Wall. Wall 5-3 with a 3.39 ERA. He struck out 66 batters in 58 in the third innings pitched. He'll be facing a pinch hitter in Andre Ethier. Ethier hitting .288 with 1 home run and 16 RBIs. Ground ball down to first. Gonzalez up with it. Tosses to Wall, who covers, and Ethier's retired for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Anthony Rendon to the plate. Rendon 0 for 2 with an RBI. Hard hit ball to right field. That's going to get... Oh! Brinson's able to make a nice catch out there in the track. I thought that was going to hit the wall. But Brinson pulls it in. The Braves go down here in the bottom of the 7th. And the Reds lead them but they lead the Reds 2-1. New pitcher for the Braves, Trevor Rosenthal. Rosenthal 1-5 with a 3.25 ERA. He'll be facing Ozzie Albies. Albies 0 for 1.
Strike 3. You're out.
Albies strikes out for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Jurickson Profar to the plate. I think I'll get Rivero up. He'll turn Lindor around, and he'll pitch to Bellinger as well. Jurickson Profar at the plate. Profar 1 for 3 today. Strikes out for the second out of the inning. 2 down. Albert Almora at the plate. Almora 0 for 3.
Strike 3.
And he strikes out to end the inning. Reds go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the 8th, and the Braves lead them 2-1 after 7.5. Wall pitching to Christian Arroyo. Arroyo 0 for 3. Line shot to left field. That gets down for a base hit for Arroyo. He's on at first base with nobody out. New pitcher for the Reds, Felipe Rivero. Rivero 3-1 on the season with a 2.28 ERA. He struck out 63 batters in 55 1/3 innings pitched. Taking over in left field, Brandon Moss. Lewis Brinson moves to center, Derek Fisher to right. Francisco Lindor at the plate. Lindor 1 for 3. Arroyo at first base, nobody out in the inning. Rivero delivers. Pop up on the infield. Albies puts it away for the first out of the inning. 1 down. That brings Cody Bellinger to the plate. Bellinger 0 for 3. And Rivero walks him. Runners at first and second. Only 1 out for Keon Broxton. Broxton 1 for 3. Ground ball back up the middle. Simmons up with it. Throws to first. Broxton's retired. 2 down in the inning. Runners at second and third. Lorenzo Cain at the plate. They put Cain on to face Cordoba. Actually, I probably should have. Cordoba 0 for 3. Bases loaded. 2 down. And we turned Cordoba into Miguel Cabrera. He clears the bases and hits a triple. The Braves go up 5-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Cordoba at third, Jet Bandy at the plate. Bandy 1 for 2. Rivero plunks him. He did that on his own. I didn't tell him to do that. Runners at first and third, 2 down. Line shot to second. Albies puts it away. But the Braves score 3 runs. They now lead the Reds 5-1 after 8. Lewis Brinson at the plate. Brinson 0 for 3. They'll be facing Carter Capps. Capps 2-6 with a 4.08 ERA. Line shot through the right side of the infield. Base hit for Brinson. That might have meant something. We could have kept the score close. That brings Brandon Moss to the plate. Moss seeing 231 with 10 home runs and 31 RBIs. Looper to center, but Cain's able to make the catch. That injury check is coming up far too often. I mean, it's coming up for both teams, but it's almost like a setting's been changed. It's terrible. 1 down. That brings Adrian Gonzalez to the plate. Gonzalez 0 for 2. Ground ball down to first. Bellinger to Capps, who's covering. Gonzalez is retired for the second out of the inning. 2 down. That brings Derek Fisher to the plate. Fisher 0 for 2. He strikes out Fisher to end the game. And the Reds lose again today. 5-1 to Atlanta. You have received a... Oh, great. Recovery unclear. The less he plays, the better his chances for a speedy recovery. How about that? Aaron Judge is out for 10 days, but that doesn't really hurt me too much because Judge has sucked. Nobody on the waiver wire. On the bright side, I've got an off day. Everybody's going to be well rested. And then I start a game or a series versus Chicago. But I'm now 2.5 games back in the standings, and I'm fading fast. 2-8 in my last 10. It is a little frustrating, and it seems like it's related to stuff that's off the field. I'm surprised team chemistry has been dropping off, but it's stayed pretty solid in spite of the fact we've started losing so badly. Oh well. I'm going to end the stream for now. See you later.